Okay, so in today's world, things are moving a million miles an hour, right? So what really makes a leader great? It's not just about having the best strategy or years of experience, it's something deeper. It's about emotional intelligence. This is the key, really, to building resilience and that all-important trust. So let's dive in and unpack what that actually looks like.
Yeah, just think about it for a second. The pressure is cranked up to 11, you've got impossible deadlines, and your team, well, they're not exactly seeing eye to eye. In that moment, what's the difference between someone who just manages and someone who truly leads? That's the core question we're going to get into today.
And that chaotic scenario, that brings us right to our first big idea, what I like to call the leadership pressure cooker. Because, let's be honest, that's exactly what modern leadership feels like, doesn't it? It's this environment of constant, intense pressure, where it feels like every single move you make is being watched.
So as a leader, you're basically juggling two massive things at once. You've got all the external stuff, the market, the competition, the numbers, but then you've also got this whole internal world to navigate. This complex web of different personalities, people with different motivations, and everyone communicating in their own unique way. It's a lot.
So, how in the world do you handle all that without completely burning out? The answer isn't what you might think. It's not about working longer hours or just pushing harder. It's about working smarter. And the core skill right at the center of it all, you guessed it, emotional intelligence. We'll call it EI for short.
All right, so let's get really clear on what we mean by EI. It's not some fuzzy, abstract concept. It really boils down to three key things. First, it's about understanding human behavior. Figuring out the why behind what people do. Second, and this one is huge, it's about managing yourself, being able to keep your own emotions in check. And third, it's about empathy, actually being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and see things from their perspective.
And that right there, that's the whole ballgame. EI isn't just about being the nice boss. Its real power is so much bigger than that. It's what takes you from just being a person in charge and transforms your leadership into real, solid, lasting trust.
But here's the thing, that transformation, it has to start with you. It starts from the inside out. Which brings us right to our next point, mastering your inner state. Because honestly, before you can even think about leading other people well, you've got to be able to lead yourself. A leader's mood is kind of like a virus. It's incredibly contagious. If you walk in stressed out, frustrated, or anxious, you better believe that feeling is going to spread through your team like wildfire. And that's exactly why being able to stay calm, to stay centered, and to control your own reactions, well, that's the absolute foundation of great leadership.
And the ripple effects are just massive. When you can handle your own emotions, you automatically become more resilient when things get tough. That sense of calm you project, it actually helps your team collaborate better because you're not pouring fuel on the fire. And maybe most importantly, it gives you the headspace you need for real empathy, so you can actually think about how others are feeling instead of just, reacting.
Okay, so we've talked about the internal work. Now let's look at how that plays out with the people around you. This brings us to our next section, connecting with your team. Because once you've got a handle on yourself, you can start using those same skills to really influence your team's dynamics for the better.
And when it comes to empathy, wow, the difference it makes is like night and day. Seriously. Without it, you're flying blind. You completely miss the warning signs when morale starts to dip, conflicts just simmer under the surface, and any loyalty you have is paper thin. But with empathy, you catch those morale shifts right away. You de-escalate conflicts before they blow up, and you build this deep, real loyalty that makes the whole team stronger.
Look, every team is like a puzzle, right? A complex mix of different pieces. And emotional intelligence, that's the tool that lets you see how all those pieces fit together. It helps you get away from that one-size-fits-all management style. Instead, you start to understand what really motivates each person, what stresses them out, and you can lead the entire team way, way more effectively.
Okay, so all of this, mastering yourself, connecting with your team, it's all building towards something. And that brings us to our final and most important section, from leadership to trust. This is where all the pieces of the puzzle come together to create that one thing every leader craves. So check out how this path works. It's like a chain reaction. It all starts with empathy, right? Recognizing what's going on with your team. That lets you step in and reduce conflict before it gets out of hand. And when there's less conflict, collaboration naturally gets stronger. All of this is supported by your own resilience, which you built by mastering your inner state. And the end result of all of this?
Boom. You're not just the boss anymore. You've become someone your team genuinely trusts. So if there is just one thing you remember from all of this, please let it be this. Emotional intelligence is not a soft skill. I really think we've been calling it the wrong thing for years. I mean, think about it. When something directly affects your team's collaboration, cuts down on conflict, and builds real loyalty, that's not soft. That is a powerful, strategic advantage.
So I want to leave you with a question to think about. As you go about your day, ask yourself this: am I building a team, or am I just managing a to-do list? Because at the end of the day, emotional intelligence is what separates one from the other. It's what makes all the difference.